Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Brenda, Arizona for the second to last time. Tomorrow morning will be the last time, but this is our last evening one with you guys. Wow! Can't believe we've been here 5 nights already, and tonight I'll make it 6 nights. And so I hope you all had a super fantastic, sparkling, fun Friday. Normally I take Good Fridays off, but totally forgot to check the calendar to see when Easter was this year. Bad girl, I know. But, you know, despite the fact that I didn't get to have my Good Friday off, which I always like to do, I have Easter Sunday off, which is more important for me. Anyway, but today has been a very fun day. I've got a lot of stuff done today. I learned a couple of new things today. I did have a tiny pet peeve. I was given a document to proofread, and whoever created the document did the entire thing using tables. It was a document that had paragraphs, subparagraphs, sub-subparagraphs, and to keep everything into alignment with all the indents and everything else, they had created everything into a table. And even when there was separate, every line was in its own row of a table. And I'm like, oh, you have got to be. And they had really weird section breaks in there and page breaks. And so I have now converted the 5 tables in a 9-page document. 5 tables in a 9-page document have been converted into one text document, which I'm currently going through and cleaning up. And it's so much easier to clean up than having every single line in a table. That just drives me nuts. If you want to type up a document and you don't know how to do it to get, you know, your paragraphs, your subparagraphs, your sub-subparagraphs all in alignment, find somebody who knows how to do it, because somewhere down the line somebody is going to have to edit your document and they're going to be pulling their hair out, because it is a real pain to go through and try to edit that document. And I said to the person who needed it edited, I said, look, I'm just going to take extra time tonight. I'm going to work late tonight and I'm just going to get this thing done. I said, because there is just no way I can get it to the level of professionalism that you want with all these tables everywhere. And I mean, there was even like little narrow columns over here that had nothing in them, and then it was a mess. I mean, if you turned on the grid lines and turned on the paragraph markers and all that sort of stuff, it was like, whoa. But yeah, so we've now got it stripped out of all the tables, and now we're just going through and formatting everything as it should have been formatted in the first place. And if you're one of those people that sort of say, oh, well, I need to put this much space between, and you go enter, 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 do not do that. There is a much easier way to do that. Just go into paragraph formatting and put the distance in there. It makes it really, and if you don't know how to do it, find somebody who does to do it for you. Trust me, it'll be worth it in the long run. When you're creating a Word document that is going to be used by many people and somebody else is going to end up editing it, make it as easy as possible. Get somebody who knows what they're doing to go in there and create the document for you so it is right the first time, and somebody later on doesn't have to come in and write up the document for you, but first they've got to go in and clean up somebody else's mess. But you know, it was fun. It was fun. I haven't had to do a document like that for a very long time, so it was kind of fun going and getting partway through and going, yeah, now I remember why I love doing what I do, because at the end I know that this document is going to be professional looking. It is going to be it's going to not only be polished, it's going to look good, it's going to stand the test of time for other people who come along that have to edit the document. It's going to be so much easier for them to edit for any changes that need to be made in it, or if they decide to use that as a template, it's going to be so much easier for them to use later on down the road. So take the time to get it done correctly the first time, and then the document will stand the test of time. So that was my little pet peeve with people putting stuff into tables when they don't need to be in tables. But you know, I still had fun cleaning. I'm still having fun cleaning it up. I'm just taking a short break to do this, and then I'll get back to it, and then it'll be out to walk the dog and go down to the dog park to find out what happened. We had an incident here in the park yesterday where we were down at the park last night, and somebody came over and asked if anybody was missing a husband, and we're like, what? And apparently there'd been some guy who had apparently called the front desk here at the campground said he was a guest at the campground and his ATV had broken down. First of all, as soon as they said his ATV had broken down and he was off walking, decided to walk back, and now he was disorientated. I'm sort of like, okay, if you are going to go out anywhere that is not close to civilization, carry a personal locator beacon with you. Number one. Number two, don't go by yourself. Really, don't go by yourself. And if you do go out by yourself, stay near your vehicle. If it breaks down, stay near it, because it's much easier to spot a vehicle from the sky than it is a person. It was like this was around 6 o'clock last night. We still had some daylight left. The sheriff was already at the thing, getting all the information. They were still trying to figure out who this guy was. He said that his wife was at the dog park, or called it the bark park, was at the park with the dog and described the dog as a medium-sized dog. So they were asking, and of course this is one thing that I love about the RV community, especially one like this where you have a lot of regulars who come in, there's a lot of snowbirds who come in on regular basis, is that they get to know everybody. And when they were describing the person, they said, oh, maybe that could be so-and-so. They were, da-da-da-da-da-da, and so like, oh. And I said, well, if he's disorientated, it was like over 90 degrees out there in the desert, and he probably didn't have any water with him. So my first thought was, he's dehydrated and needs attention ASAP. That was my first thought as soon as I heard that he had gone wandering off from his vehicle, was disorientated, didn't know where he was. He told some people where he thought he was, so they went to meet him up at this location to find out he wasn't there. So then they came back and called the cops and got them involved. So I heard a helicopter go over about 7 last night, I think it was. And because it was dark at the time, I hope they had the infrared cameras on so they could see body heat and that sort of thing. But I'm just hoping and praying that the person who was out there by themselves without a personal locator beacon, obviously not with I don't know if he had any water with him or not, but if it is the person that they were talking about, he had a lot more other stuff going on. So hopefully tonight, and I haven't seen the ATVs going out today like they normally do. Normally you can almost set your clock by them. Around 9 o'clock, you get a trail of ATVs going out to head out into the desert area to follow the trails and that sort of thing. Then at 10 and then at 9:30, there's the RV wave of the RVs leaving from the overnight area, and then at 10 o'clock you get the second wave of ATVs. Then around 1 o'clock the ATVs start coming back in on a regular basis. Some come in together, some just come in with the ATVs by themselves, but I have yet to see an ATV heading out with only one person in it. So most of the people go out in couples, or with, depending on the ATV, some of them will hold 4 people. So I've seen anywhere from 2 to 4 people, but I have never seen an ATV heading out with just one person in it. So it's a little concerning that people will go out there, and so a personal locator beacon is worth its weight in gold. So if you're going to go out into the wilderness anywhere, even if you're as a couple or something like that, make sure that one of you has a personal, or both of you have personal locator beacons on you. So if something should happen, at least you can, and you don't have no cell service, at least you can flick this thing on and it will send the signal out. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it operates by satellite, not by cell phone range, because a lot of the area out there, that ain't in cell phone range. And so why the guy did not stay on the trails when he was walking back, we don't know. But so I'm just praying and hoping that he is okay, that he was found, and that everything's okay. So that was our little drama last night. So I'll get to find out tonight when I go down there what happened, because and some of them were even talking about, well, let's go grab our vehicles and we'll go out and search for them. And I says, whoa. I says, first of all, make sure that everybody has a radio so you guys can stay in contact. And they're like, oh. I said, yeah. I said, because if you guys are out searching, you got to know where each other is. And I said, it's about to get dark, so unless you got lights on your vehicle, it's not a good idea to be going out there in the dark, because the police will then have to go searching for you guys. So I said, so please, 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 if you're going to do this, do it in a safe way. And of course I said, don't go out by yourself, but then if you're only in a two-person vehicle, how are you going to get a third person back who could need medical attention? So there was all those sorts of things. I says, the police will have it all sorted out. If they need you to go out, they will coordinate you, so make sure that you follow their directions and everything else. And they were all sort of like, oh, have you done this before? I says, no, it's just common sense. I guess I've been through too much stuff back in New Zealand when we used to go climbing up, when we used to go hiking on the mountains and stuff, we had to know the stuff because weather in the mountains could change very, very quickly. 5 minutes, you'd be in beautiful sunny day, 5 minutes later it could be completely clouded over, pouring with rain, or even snowing, depending on what the mountain felt like doing. So it's always good to be prepared, and I know that I got a lecture from my parents about having a personal locator beacon if I was going to be getting the RV, and it was one of the first things I purchased even before, I think it was before I had the RV, it was just after I got the RV. So if I go off anywhere, and of course I'm one of these people that's sort of like, as much as I love hiking, and I was thinking, Steph and I could go hit the trails, and then when I actually sat down and thought about it, I thought, well, I've got my personal locator beacon with me, but then I was thinking, but then going out on the trails by myself, and they have things like snakes and scorpions and wild animals here that could attack us, could attack Zephy. What do I do? It was just a whole new level of danger, and I was sort of like, I think if I'm going to go hiking, I'm going to do it with a group of people instead of just me and Zephy. So that's what I decided to do. I've got all my hiking gear. I have my boots, they're broken in, I got the right socks, I've got my hiking gear, I've got my backpack, I've got my emergency kits, survivor kits that I can throw in my backpack to take with me. And the backpack I got is specifically designed for women. And when I was at REI getting my backpack, I said to him, why does this one have a flower on it? Well, that was really weird. And he goes, oh, that's a woman's backpack. And I'm like, a woman's backpack? And so then he explained to me, he says, try this on. And he put 5 pounds into the backpacks. He had me try on a regular backpack. He says, all these backpacks and stuff have always been designed for men, with men in mind. And I'm like, really? And I'm like thinking of all the years I've gone backpacking and didn't seem to have any problem with the backpacks. He says, yeah, they have the longer, taller torsos. They don't have the short ones that the women have. And I'm like, and then their shoulders are a lot broader as well. And I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. And so I tried this one on, and it sat in a really weird place on my hips. And I was sort of like, well, that doesn't really feel. So then he puts the woman's one on my back, and I was sort of like, oh my gosh. I said, have you, and I could see the straps on here. And I said, did you put the 5 pounds in the back there? And he's like, yeah. I said, I feel like I'm not even wearing a backpack. And he said, that is the difference between the men's one and the woman's one. Until they came out with this women's lines of backpacks, the women had to struggle with the men's ones, which had which was set up for the broader shoulders, the longer torsos, and so I'm sort of like, wow, I never thought of that before. So somebody obviously had, and they came up with this whole line of women's backpacks. So I know REI carries them. So if you're in an REI outdoor store, go and check out, especially if you're a female, go check out their women's backpacks. They are super, super comfortable on the back. And they've got all the compartments that everything else has, and they actually have like these weighted bag things which simulate you carrying what you would need on a day hike, like a gallon of water, some clothes, emergency supplies, that sort of thing. And it comes to around 5 to 6 pounds. You can add other ones in there as well. But I said, since I'm going to be doing, I need a backpack for a day hiking, but maybe there might be an overnight involved. So that's why he was able, and based on how long you're going to be out hiking as to what size pack you need as well, and how much you need it to carry. So, been learning lots and lots of little tips and tricks along the way, and learning from people who go out, and then you hear it all over the news about how, how they got injured, they got separated, they were in the desert for days before they were found. So you learn a lot of things by stories that things that people have gone through or experienced. And it's like, okay, I need to tuck that little nugget away. When I do this, I need to make sure I've got this with me or got that with me. And, it's just a story about survival. So anyway, on that cherry note, but, and last night I got to do something for my exciting thing that's coming up as well. And it was so much fun. We did some exercises in this fun thing that I am doing. And so this morning I was pretending that I was a presenter and doing these things that I was, this morning I thought, I really want to try that again. So I thought, well, how can I make this fun? So stood in front of my couch and pretended that like I was on stage doing a presentation and I was getting everybody in the audience to follow me along and do these particular exercises. It was so much fun. So like, oh, I want to go learn more. And so, but then I had to take Zeffy for a walk, came back from that, did my morning meeting. As soon as I was off the morning meeting, I was on the help desk, straight off the help desk into doing some proofreading, and then onto an onboarding call, and then working again. So I have just basically been non-stop all day. I did stop like about 10-15 minutes ago and grab something to eat. I did cook some hard-boiled eggs today too. I managed to squeeze that in as well. But basically I've been surviving on breakfast at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock? Yeah, 6 o'clock I had breakfast. Protein shakes somewhere along the way, like around 1 o'clock for lunch. And then I took a break about an hour ago and cooked up some hard-boiled eggs. And while they were cooking, I had my my timer on my phone, and I went and had a just went and lay down on the bed with Zeffy. We just hung out for about the 20 minutes that it took for the pressure cooker for the Instapot to get up to pressure. It's 7-minute cooking time. It's 5-minute natural release time. And then I came out and smashed up some eggs, mixed a little bit of cheese in there with it, some paprika, some turmeric. What else did I put in there? Some ground mustard, a little pinch of salt to help enhance the flavors, and it was actually really good. A little bit of mayonnaise, yeah, avocado mayonnaise, and so mixed all of that in there together. It was really, really good egg salad. So now I'm sort of like, yes, let's get going. So I gotta go. Man, I've been on here 17 minutes. I gotta get out of here. I'm trying to make my videos shorter. This is not working. But we are going for shorter. We're trying for shorter videos. Anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling, fun evening. For those of you celebrating Good Friday today, I hope you've had a great day. For those that are celebrating Easter this weekend, may you have a super fantastic, sparkling Easter weekend. And for those of you just having a regular weekend, enjoy your weekend, and we will catch you back here tomorrow morning for Shake It Up Saturday. And my day tomorrow is going to get shaken up because we are traveling to a new campsite tomorrow. Yay! New campground. But right now I gotta go do some more editing before I head down to the dog park with Steffi for a play date with 3 Australian Shepherds, a mini Australian Shepherd, 2 Golden Retrievers, and a Bernedoodle. I think I got it all in there. Oh, and we had a Border Collie in last night too. I don't know if the Border Collie will be back. And then we might have that other Australian Shepherd. So we may end up with 4 Australian Shepherds in there and a mini Australian Shepherd. Anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning for Shake It Up Saturday. Hei konera.